Hey BlessFest volunteers, welcome to what you've been looking forward to for most of your life, the BlessFest Training video. That's right, brought to you by Calvary Chapel, East Anaheim. Thanks for watching this video and thanks for signing up to volunteer for BlessFest. We're super excited about this event. We're gonna have 400 homeless joining us that day, 400 volunteers joining us. We're gonna be offering all sorts of awesome things that day, from dermatology to a full Thanksgiving meal, vision optometry, dental, haircuts, makeup, you name it, we're offering it that day, and we're super happy and excited that you're gonna be a part of that day with us. Now remember, our theme this year is treat others the same way you wanna be treated. It's called the Golden Rule. It's also in the Bible, so it happens to be our theme, and it's really our guiding principle for the whole event. So if you're not sure what to do in a situation, think back to your verse and think, oh yes, we're supposed to treat others the same way I would want to be treated. So remember, we're welcoming guests here to the property this day, and we want to treat them with the utmost respect. So treat others the same way you want to be treated should be your guiding principle for the event and really for your life. So it should be easy for you if you're already applying that to your life. Continue to do that BlessFest Day. So now we're going to get into some of the minutia of the event. No, unfortunately, the first year that we're going to be doing this event, we're inviting about 560 people from several different shelters. We're expecting maybe 400 of those 560 invites, but we don't want to just invite anyone off the street for our first year. Maybe in the future we'll grow it to that point. But in this first year, we're just gonna take who shows up from those shelters. Although this is a homeless outreach, we don't want to refer to our guests that day as homeless. None of us really want to be defined by our circumstances, and the people that'll be our guests that day are gonna be in the same boat. So please refer to our guests that day as guests or visitors, but please don't use the term homeless, as we're hoping and praying that that's a temporary situation for them and that that is not what defines them as a person. They're people too, so treat them that way. And like we said, Luke 6, we want to treat others the same way we want to be treated. Most of the time things go very smoothly in an event like this. We've been doing it in Vegas since 2007 and it goes very smoothly, but situations do arise when you bring this many unknown people to a property. Things can arise, and for that reason we have several trained security that will be here at the event. So if a security issue arises, report that as quickly as possible, but the best way to handle it is to try to diffuse the situation. How do you do that? Let's go back to our Bible verse again. Treat others the same way you want to be treated. So if somebody's getting a little bit irate or a little bit out of control, go ahead and calmly introduce yourself if it seems safe to do so. Say, hey, I'm Mike, and welcome to our church. And then try to get a conversation started with them. Ask them, what their name is and whatever else you might want to ask them to diffuse the situation and get them to think about something else. But if you can't diffuse the situation, security will respond, and you can notify them pretty easily at the event. There's going to be walkie-talkies for all the areas of oversight. And for those that are in security, you'll know how to handle this situation as your overseer will be training you in this, and most of you come from a law background anyway, so you'll understand how to handle the situation. Wear your BlessFest shirt, of course. How else would we differentiate you? So if you've seen the BlessFest shirts, Pastor Bob wore one a few months back, and a lot of the different staff and people at our church have been wearing their BlessFest shirts. We would love it if you'd wear your BlessFest shirt on the day of the event. It could be cold. We have long sleeve options, but layer up and try to put your BlessFest shirt on the outside if possible. It'll help us to differentiate from one another and know who's a volunteer. You're also going to have little name tags, which will be a secondary way for us to understand who is who, but your BlessFest shirts. And we are selling them. I hope you understand we're doing it as a fundraiser for the event, as the event is not free. So the t-shirts are $20, and all of the proceeds for the shirts go towards the event. So make sure you pick up a BlessFest t-shirt or two. We even have some kid sizes before they're all out. Go get one.
Where will I be serving? That's probably a question that a lot of you are asking yourselves at this point. We're still working out the details of all the volunteer assignments. With over 10 areas and 400 volunteers, we ask that you please stay flexible. We're excited about this event and excited for you to come serve. You should find out within a month of the event where your service assignment will be. Once you find out who your service assignment leader is, please be praying for them and reach out to them with any questions you might have about the event.
Now when it comes to the actual day, a couple of things you need to know. Number one, only bring in what you can carry. We're asking every male and female volunteer to only bring what they can carry around their waist. So that means don't bring your purses, don't bring extra drinks, just bring a jacket if you need around your waist, but that's it. This is important because we're asking all our guests who will be coming in to leave their bags at the front, and we don't want to leave any questions or confusion for them in that area. Also, when you come, allow time to find parking. If you're the first shift, it shouldn't be that bad. 6:30 a.m. should be pretty empty. But second shift, 9:30, expect to spend time looking for a spot. In fact, I'd encourage you to spend a little time and reserve some time to check in, grab some coffee, get charged up, and check in with your overseeing leader so that way we're all in sync.
Now let me tell you what you're going to do as soon as you arrive. First stop, volunteer check-in in the courtyard. You're going to receive a color-coordinated badge to let us distinguish you as a volunteer. Checking in might not seem important, but we need to know that you've arrived and checked in so that we have full coverage in each of our ministry areas. So make sure you stop in and see me at volunteer check-in and pick up your badge.
All right, so here's a really important question. Can I wait till November to sign up for BlessFest? And the answer is no. If for some reason you haven't signed up yet, right after you watch this video, you need to sign up. It's going to fill up really quickly, so you don't want to wait till the last minute. After you've checked in at the volunteer check-in, you want to go to your area and check in with whoever's in charge and make sure you familiarize yourself with where you're supposed to be. And then if you have time and you want to look around and see what's going on in the other areas, feel free to do that, but make sure you're back in time so you can start serving when your time is going to start. So, now that you've started, how do you know when your shift is over? Well, it's kind of like that game, Tag, You're It. So when someone comes up and taps you on the back and say, hey, it's time for the second shift, that's your key to get out of the way and let the next group come in to serve. And also sometimes people want to serve in other areas or serve all day. So you can always go into the volunteer check-in area and see if there's any other areas where you might be able to serve. We would be happy for you to serve in other areas. But you need to make sure that when your time is done on the first shift, that you move out so that second shift can get in and start serving, and we keep things going really smoothly. And then if you have any questions, you can always check in with your overseer who's overseeing your area. Or if you have any questions at all about volunteering or anything that I've talked with you about, feel free to email me because I will be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
The busiest area of BlessFest, as you can imagine, is going to be the dining room. In the dining room, we will be serving each of our guests as well as each of you. So you think, well, what's better than one Thanksgiving meal? 2 Thanksgiving meals. We're inviting you guys to be a part of our meal. Not just to be there with our guests, not just to sit there, but to enjoy this wonderful prepared meal. We're gonna have a full Thanksgiving meal with all the fixins. And so we wanna invite you guys to sit down, to join our guests in line at their tables and enjoy a meal. What is better than breaking bread with our guests? So in this time, you're gonna have ample opportunities to share, to hear your stories, to maybe even share your story, but also to pray with our guests. We want you to go in line with them. There are no separate lines for volunteers. There's no back entrance. We will be in line with our guests. You will enter the dining area filled with family and friends and guests, and this will be a great opportunity. You sit down with your guest, and a volunteer will come up and will ask you what you want. From there, They will bring you your food. You don't have to get up, you don't have to get in line. You just sit at your table and you enjoy the company of our guests. We're really looking forward to this time. We really want you to be present in this time. Take the opportunity to ask your guests about what they're going through. What can you pray for them for? Maybe ask them, do they know Jesus as their Lord and Savior? This is gonna be such a special time, and we're so excited that you've decided to be a part of it. We pray that you are looking forward to it. We're asking you to pray even now that you would be just a light to our guests. Thank you so much.
What if a guest asks for money? You will have many interactions with the guests throughout the day, and there are 3 questions, though, that they may ask that we are choosing not to address as Calvary Chapel, and we strongly urge you as an individual to not address these issues. The first one is if they ask for money. Second would be if they ask for transportation, and thirdly, if they ask for lodging. We would direct them to the areas that we are serving, but probably the biggest benefit and the biggest blessing that they're going to receive is if you acknowledge their need and pray for them. And at Thanksgiving, what a better gift than to give them the gift of prayer and hand them off to the Lord. And so we would encourage you to do that. I do want to speak just a moment about cleanup, because we are scheduling cleanup from 1 to 3, and we do have a cleanup crew. However, the more hands, the quicker we clean up. We're hoping to get everyone back to their families by 3 o'clock. So second shift people, if you are available to spend 10, 15 minutes, maybe 30, if you have the time, we would love to have the help, and look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you for your service, and God bless you.
Thanks again for taking the time to watch this training video. See, that wasn't that painful. See you at BlessFest 2019, Thanksgiving Day, 7 a.m. If you still have more questions about what to do, go to cc-ea.org//BF for BlessFest. And we're gonna post answers to common questions on there. So if you have a question and it's a good one, you'll see the answer on there. If it's a bad one, email badquestions@cc-ea. Just kidding. Anyway, see you guys later.